Hello, my name is Orla.
And my name is Leanne. And together we're How's Your Ma? And we wanted to talk about female relationships, where relationships come from, where they're cultured, where they're born, and how we act in relationships. I am a 46-year-old grandmother to two girls. I have one daughter and one son. I suppose when we were thinking about How's Your Ma, I remember having a conversation with Orla, and I was talking to her about, you know, when you get asked that question. I think I was really struck because one of my neighbours was asking me how was I getting on one time, and as I replied to her, I was mid-conversation. She went, "And how's your ma?" And I was like, actually, I was in the middle of telling her that I went to college and all. I thought I was bleeding great. And she was saying, like, how's your ma? And, like, that's a lead question for people to ask you all of the time. I remember thinking to myself, this could be a really difficult question for people to answer, because some people actually don't have really good relationships with their mum. Yeah. Well, some people have had excellent relationships with their mum, or different seasons bring different times and different conflicts as you kind of grow. And then I work in an organisation where we help and support vulnerable women, but together as a collective we're really strong women that do that. I was kind of wondering about that female dynamic. So when I was thinking about the How's Your Ma podcast, I was thinking, what would I want my granddaughters to know in the future? And I think, Orla, you were probably thinking the same about your own.
Yeah, well, that's a question I miss being asked, is how is your ma? Because my ma is passed away. So I would love somebody to ask me that question and still have me ma to tell them, because I had a great relationship. We were best friends. So yeah, so that's a question I miss being asked.
Isn't it crazy? I also spoke to so many women, and their mum wasn't part of their life for many different reasons. So some of them, their mum might have passed away when they were much younger, and they've had all different influences like aunties and grannies and different people rearing them. And then some people whose ma were just like vacant because of mental health or addiction. I think we've seen quite a lot of that in the work that we do over the years. And like, I was like, how do we really lead females to be strong females? And the context of where people sit in the world right now and how people are influenced is very much through social media. And here we are in our 40s going, this is how we done it. And actually, there was times it didn't work very well for me, or there was times it didn't work very well for you, but there's times where it works great. So how do we just have conversations that are open and that flow and that people can contribute to from their own perspective and their own life? And for me, I've always said it's stories lived and stories told, because you don't always get permission to talk about your story lived. There's an assumption that the relationships in your life are grand unless somebody knows how destitute or desperate they can be, or if they've been traumatic. If you're having a really good relationship and a female-led relationship where like we're fixing each other's crowns, then we really should be talking about that, because that's more of what we want to spread for young women to grow through their own lives with their own perspective and with their own self-worth growth and out of their comfort zones. I had to knock the comfort zones and the invisible walls down years ago to be able to grow into the person I am today. And I still wouldn't commit to being fully grown. There's so much more that I can learn. And I know you would say the same.
Yeah. I think every day is a school day. And, you know, we're all just learning and trying. And the podcast is called How's Your Ma? But it's not just, we don't want to hear stories just about people's mothers. It's all relationships, you know, and this is a safe space for all.
It is a safe space for all. And as we talked about what this might look like, and like where you get permission to have relationships and where you don't have permission to have relationships discussed out in like social contexts. We were saying, wouldn't it be great if people could come on anonymously and talk about what their relationship have been like? And we've had quite a lot of people come back to us and say, you know, I'd love to tell my story, but I want to tell my story and still remain anonymous.
Yeah, because I think if they share it's a load off them as well. They mightn't be able to share it with friends or whatever, you know, because they don't want to hurt certain people. So if they come here and they stay anonymous, you know, they'd be lighter.
They will be lighter.
Yeah.
And like me might be able to find some referral pathways for people to go to, or somebody might come on and decide that they just want to offload, but they can offload in a good way, or they can offload in a bad way. An aunt might want to come on and talk about maybe the difficulty of rearing her sister's children, or numerous amount of things could potentially happen. But we really want to champion females.
Absolutely.
Because we don't want to be left behind. And I suppose we are moving into a very different social context, and we've had to move with that across our own lifetime. Growing up as a young woman now is very different to playing kiss chasing back in the day. Like we
Loved
would
a bit of kiss chasing.
I was chasing the boys.
Still are.
But we would have grown up very differently to the context that like my daughter is growing up in.
Social media is a big part of all that.
And then I'd be worried for what that context is going to look like for my granddaughters in the future.
Yeah, I've a 12-year-old as well, and like that, you know, just teaching them and showing them, and, you know, respect, and not everything is social media, and just be kind.
Yeah. Be
kind to people. Yeah. You don't know what people, like my ma used to always say to me, be kind to everyone, because you just don't know what's going through anybody's life. You know, always say hello to everyone, because my ma used to say hello to everyone, and I'd be like, how do you know her? She said, I don't.
Yeah, I'd be the same.
Yeah, and I'm a bit like that now myself. Yeah.
And now a smile goes a long way in someone's day. You say to somebody,
and if you're talking to someone and you're smiling while you're talking, they're going to smile back at you.
Yeah.
You know,
and it makes them feel lighter. I suppose it makes people feel respected.
Yeah.
And that's the driver behind us wanting to have this type of conversation. Yeah. But also, we're of a different age of what a lot of influencers are at the moment. And towards the 50s. But we are very much at a different age. So I think when I turned 40, Jesus, my life really, really changed. I'd separated from my husband, went back to college, I'd done a master's in medical school over 4 years, changed my job, then
you go, girl.
Got a granddaughter, got another one. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? But I redefined who I was. And I think with maturity, there's a settling period that comes into your life as you kind of reach around your late 30s, early 40s. I think there's a settling period for women where they start to feel a little bit more grounded, but also I'm aware that they move into kind of menopausal, perimenopausal and menopausal stages of their life where you can become very ungrounded again. And we have to understand what it's like for children who grow up with you in all the different seasons of your life. Yeah. So like I was a young woman with a baby, homeless, and then I found a partner and we were in a great relationship for loads of years, and then our relationship wasn't so great and that separated, and I was going back to college and I was learning on the job and I was doing so much at different seasons in my life. And I suppose this season is probably the most settled season as a female that I feel I have been in across my life.
You go, girl.
You go, girl.
Yeah. I think I feel like this podcast, I'm doing it for me, because there's a lot I don't do for me, because the kids, and so both my parents have passed away. My husband's parents have passed away. So my kids only have us. So I feel I need to be doing everything and more for them, because they don't have anyone else, only me and my husband. So, you know, we don't have aunties and grannies and granddads to call on. So this, like my son's nearly 16, my daughter's nearly 13, they're a bit older now, they don't need me as much. So now I'm like, okay, it's a bit of me time to do. So we're dipping me toe in the water doing this, because I love talking.
You do.
I know I love talking. But I love hearing people's stories and people, I think some people think I'm nosy. I'm not nosy. I'm just very interested in people, all walks of life. I just love it.
And I would say I'm very curious.
Would you say I'm curious, Leanne, or would you say I'm nosy?
I'd say you're very curious, especially if you're out in Temple Bar at 3 o'clock in the morning and you want to find out what's going over there. But I would say you're very curious. And I've watched you ask people questions. I've watched how you ask and with the care that you ask. And it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't get used for any other purpose other than to literally understand the person that's in front of you.
Yeah.
And with the work that we do and the stories that we hear, I think they can be really, really hard.
Yeah.
And also to let people know that they're not alone.
No, and you're listened to, you're heard, you're seen. I see you. Yeah. I'm listening to you. Yeah.
I think when you ask those really deep and meaningful questions, that's potentially the best place for somebody to be in, to be able to respond to what it is that you're saying. But when it's just based on pure, utter respect. If people ask me something, I'll answer them, and I'll answer them in the most honest way that I can. Yeah. I'm always working to be as authentically honest as I can be, and directly honest to some people.
Which you are.
Yeah, I am.
But we love that about you.
But I want to see people move in their life.
Yeah.
I want to just slightly make it uncomfortable so that you shift out of the space that you are in and move into a different space. And that's, I suppose, not for everybody, but if I'm invited to do that for people, then I'm happy to do that. I really want, and I know that you really want, to be working to empower other women.
Yes.
And I really suppose for me and you, that is the absolute crux of this. Yeah. So that somebody can listen and somebody can go, well, I could go and talk to them. Yeah. Or I could ask these questions of myself. Or actually, am I behaving okay? Or do I need more of something from somewhere else? And they'll even feel safe to have those reflections and use that reflexivity in some of the other relationships that they're in with people, like how you bounce off people, where your energy's at. If you need to bring your own energy up, we will absolutely polish our crown for you, because we know that life is hard. Yeah. There's been many ups and downs, even in our own lives.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Hasn't been an easy road.
No.
But you wake up every morning, you put your 2 feet on the floor and you just thank God you're alive and see what the day has in store for you. Yeah. And that's all you can do.
And I know I say this, but it's like, it's about not making yourself small. It's making yourself big in the space that you hold, in the capacity that you have. Don't shrink yourself for anybody. Yeah. And be really grounded in who you are as a person. Yeah. We might tell people.
I think that comes with age as well sometimes, because like I'm not the person I was in my 20s or in my 30s. You're always kind of trying to fit in and and adapt yourself to, to the mold, to fit in here and fit in there. But I think as you get in your 40s, you're kind of like, do you know what? No, this is me. Yeah. You have to like me for me. And if you don't like me, that's none of my business. Yeah.
You don't want people scrapping in the background. Yeah. But scrapping with themselves. Yeah. Like, why would you fight with yourself? Yeah. When there's so many people out there. Yeah. And like, we're at the age and stage where it's really hard to make new friends, because it's like your life is supposed to be sorted. Your life is supposed to be settled.
But who says that? Who says?
It's just a social context. It's a construction that's out there.
And we all believe in new people and making new friends.
So do I talk to
anyone.
How long
are we friends now, Leanne?
We're friends only a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mother's Day a year ago. Yeah. Mother's Day a year ago, we became friends, and what happened was we were all going away for Mother's Day to Kilkenny.
Through mutual friends.
Yeah, through mutual friends. A train load of us. And Orla came to the train station. She says to me, I'll never forget the dirty looks you gave me in the train station. I said, sure, I didn't know you. Why would I talk to you?
Yeah, rude.
You're right. And then I lent her my cardigan.
And she made me go back up the room to get it because she was freezing. I was like, right, calm down. I wasn't going to run away with it.
And isn't it mad like that? I never meant with any intent to offend you, even though you made me apologise for that. I never meant
Thanks for
with
that.
any intent at that time to offend you, but I was just like, I'm freezing. But the perspective between us was like, could have been shifted in any way or in any context.
Just as well
at
I'm
that
sound,
time.
isn't it?
It's just as well I'm all right with lending out my cardigan. But what we decided actually was that we're two nice people. We get on really well together, and we get on really, really well together.
Yeah.
We talk like at least every second day, if not every day, send stuff back and forth, check in on each other's families. And like, I think that's really unique in this age and stage of our life. Like, it's not, we didn't meet at the school. That's not where we're making friends.
We haven't got kids in common or,
our lives are very different, both ends of the M50.
Yeah.
But we decided that we wanted to be friends.
Yeah, and we
Probably
make the effort.
reefed the head off each other after this.
I know.
Me curls will be flying everywhere. But no, we made a decision as grown women that we wanted to be friends.
Yeah.
And we were away together then in Tenerife last year again with
and
the
we
group
love
of
an old
friends.
gig and an old
We love
show.
an old gig and a show and an old drinking till 3 o'clock in Temple Bar. If you see two old ones up on the table, that shall be me
That'll
and
be
you.
us. Yeah.
Asking people questions, shouting, "How's your ma?"
Hold me back there for you for a minute.
But that's who we are, and that's, I suppose, our choice.
Yeah.
I think it's nice. We're not forced together. We chose to be together. We chose to be friends. We're both very positive people. I send little morning hellos and isn't the day lovely, and find little glimmers in life. I suppose I do that, and Orla does it back to me, but I do that because for a long time there wasn't glimmers
and
in my life.
I know, I know. And me too, I went through a rough stage as well, you know, really down, but I love Leanne's little messages because you're so positive. Like I'd have loads of friends and loads of different groups of friends that I wouldn't hear from, but I hear from you, and it's always positive, and I love it.
Do you love it?
I do. I love it. I love it.
And that's just because I want to be part of a group where we just build each other up. Day in, day out. This is who we are and this is why we do it, and we empower each other. And if you're having a tough day and you wake up to that message, that's great. But that doesn't mean that everybody got that version of me across my life.
No, I know,
In my 20s, like, I'm sure there was people who thought I was a horrible person. Yeah, I'd a rough time. I was a much bigger person. I had lumps removed off me. I had like strokey things and all happened to me across my early 20s. And then I was a bit like, what's the world doing to me? And a bit pessimistic. Somebody asked me in the service I was walking in the other day, they're like, were you always like, had you always got this happy outlook on life? I says I was the most pessimistic bastard for years of my life. But that influences who I am today. The active choices that I made to change my life and pour some positivity into it.
I can't imagine you not being positive, because I didn't know you in your 20s and your 30s. I only know this Leanne. And I love this Leanne.
Like, don't get me wrong, I wasn't not happy, but like, you know, I don't get jealous of people. I don't hold grudges against people. I'm not like a crow. Like, look at your face, remember you for 17 years and be like, I'll get that fucker back. It's not who I am at all. Something happens and I get upset by the something that happens, but I move on from it very quickly because I don't own it. And I don't own that energy, and I don't want people to own that energy from me.
That probably took a long time coming, Leanne. You know, you don't just wake up one day and be like that. You know, you there's a lot of work that goes into that.
There is, and I'm loud and I'm present. And I choose to be that way.
Me too.
And simply because
no one puts baby in a corner.
Nobody, go on the watermelons. Simply for years I hadn't got a voice.
Right.
So when I found my voice...
Why had you not got a voice?
I'm not telling you now. When I found my voice, I chose to use my voice.
Tune in next week.
But I did choose to use my voice, and I chose to use it through youth work, through family support work, through welfare work, working with parents that were in addiction, working with children of parents who are in addiction. I'm a family therapist. I really there was times where I was having like this own analysis of my life throughout and trying to make other people's lives better all the time and burning out and draining myself around that.
Yeah.
And actually, I thought if I'm really full, then I can give the fullest life that I can. And I think I was only telling somebody this earlier on today. I think the most positive piece coming out of it was when Holly had my granddaughter.
Yeah.
The eldest one. I really had to think about what I was going to influence in her life.
Yeah.
And when I went out, I didn't really get up and dance or anything. I'd be like more of a
Jeez,
cheer.
can't sit you down now.
Jesus, I know. 2 left feet, but sure, they're all mine. I wouldn't get up and dance. I'd be more of a chair dancer and chatting at the table and watching and observing. And I still do that sometimes, like depending on the social circle that I'm in. But I was like, I don't want her to be embarrassed to get up and dance.
You want them to be free.
I don't want to pass on anything that belongs to me onto anyone else. And so like we put on electronic dance music in the house in the mornings, like fucking Tomorrowland before the kids go to crash. Like, and there's a childminder, and we're dancing away. Like, she loves the Glen Blue Laguna. She loves like Swedish House Mafia. She'll be 5 soon. And like Swedish House Mafia, Don't You Worry Child is like one of our favourite songs.
Deadly.
She knows all the words off it. When Tomorrowland was on, we were watching on the telly and she was like, oh Nan, I love this song. And I was like, she's Fisher, the whole shebang, she loves them all. She'll still watch Miss Rachel now, say. Yeah. As will our little sister. But like we dance and we get the energy going and we get it flowing, and I think that's really
set you
important.
Up for the day.
Yeah. And for me, sending that message to them is as important as checking in with my friends and saying, how's everybody doing? I love you. Sending this little Instagram post that'll make you laugh, or that I have thought about you in, and those kind of things. All of that isn't important. And it's important to me that I remain to be that person and don't sell myself out. Because it's hard to get to there, and then when you're happy there, it's a nice space to be in.
And we need to stay there. We need to stay in our nice space. So everything we can do, give us all the positivity.
Yeah. I know when we were talking about what this meant and what it meant for us, and you were like, I'll get me auntie on, and I was like, I'll get this person on, and I'll get that person on, and we are looking for guests. And we do have some guests lined up that really want to share and tell their stories, and they're not all doom and gloom. And I would say probably any story that comes to fruition here is probably a survival story. Surviving being a woman. Because the context of life out there is ever changing. The themes that women face are ever changing. Like, we've went from being really strong women in the households back in the like 50s, 60s, and you're leading in those positions, matriarchy, our own house, and now we're CEOs and we're directors of services, and we own our own businesses, but still have some of the household jobs. And it's just being mindful of how we treat each other in those spaces and how we give each other a leg up.
And I'm grateful that I can make it through each day. Yeah.
Because there's many women out there that can't. Because they're locked up. I know, I'm only messing. But there is. And I remember having this conversation when I walked in the prisons with some of the women. And they were like, if I could change my life, I was like, what would you change? And they're like, I wouldn't be here. But like, if they were changing their life, they were going all the way back to being like a 6 and 7 year old little girl, talking about changing their life back there. Like, I just stood up to me dam, or I wouldn't have done. You wouldn't. You were 6 and 7. You didn't have to. They should have taken care of you. Like, my daughter would come on here and she might say, well, me ma done this on me and me ma done that on me. And that's her story. And that's her perspective.
Exactly.
And it's different. And I might have the exact same experience, and it's lived and told very differently. And we need to give each other permission to do that. You know, when you're out and you're like, no, that didn't happen. This is the way it happened. And it's like, but that's the way it happened for me. And that's okay. My feelings aren't up for negotiation. Like, how I felt about that belongs to me.
You can't tell me how I feel.
I have 2 brothers. And they have a very different experience of growing up in the same family home that I grew up in.
Yeah.
One is older, one is younger.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you can all grow up together, but you're completely different memories and stories. And like, you might remember it one way and he remembers it another way. And you're like, that's not how it happened. But they're like to you, but that's not how it happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
It's the same old saying, isn't it? It's your story, my story, and the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Really, when we think about those stories that people want to tell and want to share.
Yeah. So come on, get in touch. We
We
want to know everything.
And that's not in a nosy way.
And that's not in a nosy
All
way.
the rolls her eyes as she says that. Well, it's actually not in a nosy
not.
way. If there is any way that we can help anybody out there, add some perspective maybe to what their story is, help reframe things, help flip things around. Like if somebody comes in and their story is really tragic, we are going to see them as survivors of what that story has been, acknowledge the story, the weight that they've been carrying over the years, maybe have conversations about it and point out strengths that they didn't even know that they had or that they were carrying, and maybe point out where you can let things go now.
Yeah.
We might not point anything out, but
we're here to listen.
We are here to listen.
No, not to judge. We'll just listen. You will be heard and you will be seen.
Yeah. For who you are.
Yeah.
Absolutely who you are as a person, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Human being, doing human things. And that's what we all are at the end of the day. So my name is Leanne.
My name is Orla.
And we want to know, how's your ma?